Welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. All right, another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of CyberCEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show right now. Ben, how are you doing today?
Great. How are you doing today, Jello?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking. And of course, for being on the show, I really appreciate this. We're very excited to get the interview with you. So to get the show on the road, just to let you know, Ben, we have a lot of listeners who are also business owners just like you. So I need your help here. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe let's start off with what is your role in the business?
Sure. We have a small team here. My role is the team lead, basically to lead generate and network with other agents and, find business for the team, right? Also to coach and mentor the people on the team and provide support for them.
So I can only assume that your days are always busy every day.
Always. Yeah.
Of course, but busy is always good. How long have you been in the business, by the way?
I've been in the business. So I started working residential construction, building houses for 20 plus years before joining my wife's team about 6 years ago. She'd been in production for 4 years before that. So she's been in real estate about 10 years. We started with 𝗙𝗵𝗶𝗹 with our team and then started our own small boutique brokerage and then now we own a market center with 𝗙𝗵𝗶𝗹 here in North Carolina.
Okay, so a few years in the business already. And I know for a fact that you have your own Cyberbacker supporting you in the business, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, how long have you been working with Cyberbacker?
It's only been a few months now since, I believe, November, right before October, November of last year.
Okay.
So 4 or 5 months, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Somewhat like in the honeymoon phase of a partnership. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Now, I want to know, how did you know about Cyberbacker? Did someone introduce you to us or how did you know about us?
So I have a real estate coach and she has a Cyberbacker and I really enjoyed their interaction and saw the level of support that she received from that individual. They've been, I believe her Cyberbacker, that's one of the earliest relationships. So they've been together for a long time and worked really well together. She found the perfect match. And I just truly enjoyed every interaction with her and how she conducted her day-to-day business and very professional. And I could see the time that it saved my coach.
Especially, it's very, very important in any business is saving the time so you can focus on growing the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know, how about you and your current Cyberbacker? How's the experience so far working with each other?
It's been fantastic. I'm the type person that fights structure. So I'm not a very structured individual. I will actively fight structure. So for me, I knew that was lacking as a part of the business that's very important, especially with client retention and, just staying in front of people. Mm-hmm. Last thing you want to do in a real estate business is not be top of mind with your clients, right? So it's been fluid. There's not been any moment where I can say there was like a serious difficulty. I'm sure that's not everyone's experience, but I think the systems that Cyberbacker puts in place and their process is almost bulletproof. Like you'll have the right match. And if not, they'll find you the right match. Right.
Yes, of course. In this type of a partnership, the match is very important because you're going to be working with this person every day of the week. What can you tell me about your Cyberbacker? I want to know more from you about your Cyberbacker. Let's say personality-wise.
Personality-wise, Juan is very similar to myself. He takes work very seriously, but also we can joke around and have fun at the same time. There's a time for being serious and getting things done, but also like very pleasant to deal with, on task all the time. There's never a moment where I say, hey, I have an idea. He won't stop exploring that idea and make it a reality until it is. Like he's relentless about following up and crowdsourcing from this, either the Cyberbacker community or other, avenues that he has to leverage his knowledge, right? Because obviously things work differently there in real estate than they do here. And there's that learning curve. And to bridge that, there's systems in place that Cyberbacker puts in for so I'm kind of gaining knowledge from other teams across the US that I wouldn't necessarily have. So that's kind of like a hidden benefit of it.
It's an advantage,
like a hidden value and advantage to me, because I can hear something that somebody said in Idaho that they're doing, and maybe no one's doing that in our market. And I say, hey, Juan, that looks like a great idea. Let's do that. Right. So we do a lot of that. We do a lot of back and forth sending what other agents are doing. And I have him duplicate that, kind of change it to make it our own. And that's been very rewarding for both of us. I mean, I feel like he's a genuinely honest guy that wants to help as a team member, right? He cares about the team and the success of the team.
So someone who is very relentless and proactive into making sure that whenever you hand him a task, he will make sure that he will get it done.
Yeah, he's loyal to the team. He's not allowing distractions to happen during the day. I'm sure there are. And I've had in the past here at the office, right, in person, admin, and other staff on the team. And it's just been a totally different experience. And I love it.
Of course. Now, talking about Juan, by the way, and of course, virtual leverage right now, did you ever believe in the idea of virtual leverage before you partnered with your Cyberbacker?
So I thought a bit about that question. And I actually had someone that I really respected in the industry who had 3 virtual admin, and I never understood how he made that work. And now I do. And I kind of wish I had done it a little bit earlier. Or let me just say this. There was a point in our business where we went through a period of change over 3 years, and it could have been done on year like 1.5. And I think there would have been a benefit there. But in the middle part of the business where we were, it might not have been the right mix at that time, but it probably would have helped us. So yeah, I mean, I've always believed in that type leverage. Yes. And now I'm kind of an advocate for it and telling other agents in the office, because it's just a different level of accountability that Cyberbacker holds their team to. Right. And I really enjoy the end of the day recap of what's been done. I mean, I may not even talk to him all day, but I know that there'll be a contact in the morning and I'm working all day and here's what I did today for the team. And that just, it's just great. It's great. It's just a great process from a business standpoint. Of
course, having someone who is very accountable for their actions and for the day, as what you mentioned, there are times that you don't even get to talk to Juan, your Cyberbacker, right? But his accountability is there. So that is an awesome, let's say, of course, factor in this type of a partnership, because there is accountability. You are sure that your Cyberbacker is really doing something to help you grow the business on a daily basis. Now, talking about the things that he does to help you out, I want to know, what are these things? What are these tasks that he does for you in the business that really helps you save your time so you can focus on other things?
So right now, again, we talked about this morning during our meeting. We're kind of still are in the honeymoon and building phase of scaling the business and putting systems in place to stay in front of the clients. So from a day-to-day task, he's working with our CRM, database management, weekly email content. He's creating content for our social media feeds and having that, finding ways to reach out to people through technology, right? Whether it's through social media, emails, texts, and all those building blocks and things that I get frustrated with as an impatient person. He finds solutions and organizes all of that, right? So that we have process in our business, and the clients are starting to see that now. And reaching out to either him, me, or the buyer's agent, right, where we can make a deeper connection. It's not a typical role, when you create your job description for a Cyberbacker. I know a lot of people are using them as strictly as an admin or a transaction coordinator, and that's great for them. But in my business, I already had those pieces leveraged out. I didn't really need a traditional admin in the sense of, creating paper marketing and stuff. I really wanted to move towards a more modern way of marketing the business. And Juan's allowing me to do that. He's got fresh ideas every day, but really just taking care of things that created constant pressure for me. He's very good at smoothing that out. He can sense when I'm frustrated and say, hey, look, let me take care of that after the call. Let's talk about the other things you want me to do, right? And kind of holding me accountable to staying on task, right? He's taking those hours that I would spend frustrated on those things that I'm really not even good at, where I can focus on the things that I'm really good at, making those exponential. I mean, that's how we're scaling the business right now.
Of course, that's very important. Yeah. Again, that accountability partner, that's someone to remind you that, hey, I got your back. I'm here to help you out. You can focus on the other things. Let me handle this, right?
But the clients too, right?
Yes.
So the clients see that too, and it's the concierge effect is what I call it, right? So they know that there's someone always there. If they need something, I want them to come to us for the answer when it's real estate related or anything else, really. I mean, we have a huge network that can help them with all sorts of, not just home related. I mean, they could need to find a job and we could help them, right?
The experience that they would have with your team, right? The concierge piece is what you mentioned, the concierge effect. Now, we already talked about the things that he's currently doing. But of course, since this is still the honeymoon phase between you and your Cyberbacker, of course, his growth is not going to stop. So what I'd like to know more of is what are some of the new things that you're thinking about letting him do in the future for the business?
That's a good question. Once we develop a daily, monthly, weekly process for staying in touch with clients, some of the other tasks that I'd like for him to tackle would be working a little bit more on our website design, and not exactly him doing that himself, but kind of guiding the people who are doing that. So I almost want him to become the accountability person for the team. So for instance, when the buyer's agent, when lead comes in and they need to make their calls, Juan's the one that reminds them, hey, oh, by the way, right, there's 5 calls that need to be made today. I noticed this didn't happen or this didn't happen. Can you give me an update on when this is going to happen? And that's where, he's kind of like the puppet master there and pulling the strings for everybody and he's the center of the team. I want him to take that role as the hub, right? The mothership where everybody comes to him and can use him for, staying in touch with their clients. I don't think I'll ever have him do transaction coordination or typical admin things. I really want it to be a true concierge effect. We just were able to achieve the luxury designation at 𝗙𝗪𝗶𝗋, which is huge for us, especially with the current market dynamics in the United States. That price point is very important, that you have some sort of business going on there in the higher end markets. And also, I enjoy it because of my background. I think we can provide value to them. So I think during his growth over the next couple months, we'll kind of transition more into that concierge and what that looks like, and just have him keep developing systems. And as we grow the team, have him do some things with those team members to grow them as well, and, set up meetings for them and training for them, education and whatnot.
Of course, developing his skills to make sure that nothing really falls through the cracks, especially as what you mentioned being that concierge effect, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the most important right now in this business. It's a form of lead generation by itself. You can do all the fancy tech, you can run Facebook ads and Google ads and all of that stuff. But the main core of most successful real estate businesses is their database and their people in their network, right?
Yes.
So we're really focused on that this year, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, we're always together on the call looking at, how many people clicked on this ad? How many people looked at our email? What about this person? What are they doing? How many likes did they get on their post? And those are things that he's doing and bringing to my attention. It's not that I have to bring those to his attention. Refreshing.
Of course, because you have someone who is very proactive and giving out ideas, things that he thinks that could help you out and could also help grow the business, right?
And he's excited about it too. Yes. He genuinely wants to learn. He's a learning-based individual, and that's one of our team qualities, right? That's one of our values, core values, is to be a learning-based individual. So as long as he's growing and learning, and as long as we're growing as a team together, life's great.
So we can safely say then that you've found your perfect match then in Juan, your Cyberbacker. Yes.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Now, one last question for you, Ben. As I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of listeners who are also business owners. Now, what piece of advice would you be able to share with them when they're hiring their very own cyberbacker?
You really pay attention during the interview process and don't rush into hiring someone for, really pay attention to what their strengths are and for what the role. Work on your job description. Like the job description is very important because I made that mistake early on of not being, not communicating well enough what those roles. And I strictly wanted someone who was good at the marketing piece and understood that and maybe had a little bit of background in that, even if it was just in college. For me, I needed someone full-time versus part-time. There's other reasons why someone would hire someone part-time. We're exploring hiring ISA now, and I've reached out to Cyberbacker about that, and we're in discussions about that. So that may be a piece that I only have a part-time leverage. So really think about how your business is, what you really need to leverage, what part of it, and hire to that specific job. Because what you don't want to do is hire someone who's only has admin and expect them to do marketing. I think that's where I've failed in the past and would like people to learn from that mistake, right? So previous admin, which were not virtual, that was the expectation, and they're not really geared up to create content and work on marketing and those type technology driven lead sources.
So basically just find that perfect fit for the things that your business needs.
Yeah, and really Cyberbacker has all the systems in place.
Yes.
You need to spend the time to prepare for the interview. Use the tools they give you. Answer the questions and really think about it. Spend some time on it. Again, I fight structure. So I maybe spent 5 minutes the first time me and Curvin had a talk, and he got frustrated because I'm like, I'll frustrate you, because of lack of preparation. And then the second time I was like, you know what? I really do owe it to him to go through and look at this stuff and come up with a solid job description, because the first 3 people didn't really match at all. Right. You will find the right person. You do have the right person there, and it really will it'll change your business. I believe that. And I'm an advocate for Cyberbacker moving forward.
We appreciate that, Ben. Now, I forgot to tell you, by the way, that Juan is listening to us. Would you want to give him a quick shout out or any message you'd like to give him on the show right now?
Well, he knows Juan's the man.
We are very, very excited to see where this partnership would be in the next few months and, of course, the years to come. Ben, thank you very much for being on the show today.
Thanks, 𝗙𝗯𝗋, for having me.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.